Firnfeld, gonna be map number 2. Let's get underway. For the riders, we have the Fancy, Amobula being piloted by Dementio. Hades up top, Artemis and Flamethrower on the top deck, with Carronade and Artemis on the lower. They also have the Lib GDL, a goldfish, being piloted by Luiosi. On the front, we have a Carronade, Flare on the port side, Flamethrower on the starboard.
And then for the blue team, we have the Daskain Crocodile once again with that Gat Artemis Banshee Flare.
They like it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now, arguably, whether or not it's broke here. See if they win, in which case it won't be broke. And the Memory, a Blenderfish piloted by Yggdrasil, and that has got Mine Flare Gun support.
You know, this is the first time I have, today is the first time I've seen that, a mine launcher on as just kind of an extra weapon being used effectively. Every other time I've seen it, it's like, oh, I threw out a mine, and now it's just going to sit, near the bottom of the map for the rest of the match.
Oh, you mean like when they were locking that galleon?
Yeah, when they were locking that galleon, but they've also used it in other places.
Oh, boy, that's what that
Remember?
does. Oh, God. Oh,
What?
sorry. I was like, does right-click do anything on stream? Oh, man, I made myself a little
Yes.
sick there. Don't
Yeah, it's
click
awful.
it, spin it too fast. It does a barrel roll, and oh, man. Made myself a little sick.
It's awful. No, it's awful. Don't do it.
Oh,
Do not.
lesson learned. Lesson learned. Man. All right. Wow, that was a mini adventure for me. I'm real sad that no one was able to share in that.
I'm not doing that to you guys. Don't worry.
No, please don't. I'm not that sad that no one was able to share in that. Oh boy, that was good fun. Good fun.
We're just hanging out here for a little bit.
As we're waiting for these two teams to run into each other. I'm still not sure on this map. We've been playing this map has been out for a couple weeks now, a couple months even, and I'm not sure what the best engagement distance is, close, mid, or long.
I think it depends on where you're fighting on the map.
I've seen all three work, and there's a couple common places I'm noticing teams setting up over where the riders are right now. I see engagement happening over actually also where the Daedalus is. In a couple engagements happen, in and around the trenches on either side. And I've seen all three tactics used, and I've seen all three tactics work, except for maybe long. I don't know if I've seen that one.
I've seen it work.
You have seen that one work?
Yeah, it worked. So if we end up with long range matches, they happen off to the south of the map,
Okay.
down along row 1.
Okay.
And then if we have mid range matches, this is generally where we have them, just in this area. Close range can be anywhere, though, I think.
Yeah, as long as you can close that distance, and there's definitely multiple opportunities to close that. There's most of the open areas most of the open areas have hard cover, and or most of the open areas have cloud cover, and the closed up areas have got their hard cover. Oh, there's a pause.
Yep.
Pause on the screen. All engines must come to a stop. No buffs are allowed. No spotting. None of that. None of that shenanigans.
Exterminator. Oh, okay, Exterminator is just. Ugh. It's like. I don't even know, man. This outfit.
It's like I don't even know, man.
It's so awful.
Where is Exterminator? Which
He's
ship is he on?
Fancy.
All right, let's see what we got here.
This is
Fancy.
Dementio. Dementio looks awesome. Exterminator
He
is
looked
look
like
at
the
that.
Joker.
Yeah, kind of. Just even more neon, though.
As he's just like fiddling and jumping around.
A
Alan,
little
he's
bit.
got that nice Dust Rider.
I'm just checking out everyone's outfits right now. I'm really glad that we can do that.
Yeah, that's real cool. Oh, hang on.
Swift Paw, pretty cool looking. Pipes are kind of the order of the day today, I've noticed.
Are they becoming more and more common?
Yeah.
Ooh, I like Mysterious Medics. Colors.
Alright, here we go. Unpause.
We're getting in. We're getting into the thick of things. The battle resumes.
Yep. Pause. All right, and I think that we are good.
Oh, Duskline Crocodile gets spotted from over the mountain. Fancy also gets spotted from over the mountain. So coming round the mountain when she comes, as will these ships, and we'll see who decides to push offensively.
Did you sleep okay last night?
Oh, I didn't get to bed till probably about 1 in the morning.
Oh dang, I was actually up later, playing the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer with my friends. And Alien Swarm.
So you're saying I've got no room to complain. I was up way later than you were. You can shut up with your yawning, Kirk.
I still was asleep for like 8 hours.
Oh yeah, I had to be up at like.
Here we go. Wow, look at that turn. Hard on the memory.
Oh, and Fancy is approaching over the mountain, definitely using the nice downward arc that the Hades and the Artemis have. I really want to see the memory close in on the Fancy right now. Like right now.
Yeah, now as in a few moments ago.
Yeah, memory's taking too long, and I think he's just focusing over here on the lib GDL, which is not what needs to be happening. We need the Klein on the GDL, as it's so difficult.
Okay.
He's doing all right, but if he had gotten that heavy clip down on the Fancy, he'd be on the ground. Oh, an excellent dodge by the GDL.
Right now, Fancy in a lot of trouble. It's going to try to burn forward, and it's going to work. I don't think the little crocodile can actually keep pace.
Those Banshees might be in arc. No, take too long. Hull comes back up. Gatling is going again. Fancy is going up. They're seeing some excellent dodging by Mobula here. Mobulas, when they came out, they weren't considered all that maneuverable, but as we see them being used more and more, we're seeing some really fancy tactics with them.
Fancy tactics. Makes sense. Flamethrower coming out on the little crocodile, flaming him up, doing quite a bit. 2 engines on fire.
But the Hull managed to hold up until just now, and they took a little chunk. Not too bad, though. Memory is back in action, popping the GDL. Klein Crocodile has got his engines to the Fancy. He's correcting that right now. Oof. We've got a good old-fashioned tussle going around here. This is really ugly. Right now, ships are just taking shots on whatever they can find. Fancy backing up a little bit. No, it's just got the Artemis. I think it wants to use its close-range guns. Ooh, lots of fires going down on the Klein Crocodile. He has lost Balloon. He has lost Hull, and he's getting things up as fast as he can, while the GDL is pushing the memory away from the Fancy. Crocodile and Fancy, neither of them really looking all that hot. Is the Fancy coming in for a ram?
No, it's just getting the close-range guns going as a carronade, and it's got both Artemises going in as well. I think it's nudging them up against the wall. I think you're right. Not really a ram, more of a nuzzle.
Go. Get out of here. Get out of here. Go away.
Flamethrower, that is so satisfying to watch. Flamethrower going all over, making sure that the Kleiner Crocodile can't go anywhere, and that is going to be the kill, crumbling in the distance.
Fancy hardly loses any Hull, hardly loses any Balloon. Those engineers are going back deck, backstage to throw in a couple.
Holy cow, how did the fight get this spread out? Memory dropping down to the ground. Live GDL staying on it. Whoa! Bounce up. Not sure how that happened.
Oh, but GDL just puts that carronade right inside the Balloon. They do lose Hull, but there's no threat of any perma going down, as Memory is just low and in the dirt.
Memory not looking so good. Yeah, carronade just continuing to go out. Buffed carronade is a scary kill weapon.
Yeah, it does a surprising amount of perma damage. All of that shatter, it just really, really hurts the permanent Hull.
Yeah, the Memory not looking great right now, doing a great job of crunching them down. Look at that stomp down into the water. Memory! Oh,
wow.
Whoa, armor comes back up in time, but Balloon's down.
Yeah, and one more Hull drop, and they are done as they are getting pushed up against the rock. There it goes. Poof. However, Fancy took a couple knocks in that engagement.
Yeah, just a couple. When an engagement gets that messy, Mobulas have a lot of trouble. They really need... I feel like simpler engagements are better for the Mobula because, they have a lot of damage output, but they're really squishy. They're glass cannon, basically.
Well, they're actually not too much squishier than a Pyramidion, but what makes them squishier is that it's so difficult to engineer on them. A Piri, turn around, take 2 steps, hit the Balloon. And then you have a primary engineer who's always downstairs on the hull and engines. On a Mobula, I mean, by keeping those 3 guns running, you were having no one fixing. Um, so it takes it. The balloon is a lot further away from the Gungeoneer, and the hull is equidistant.
Oh, nice snipe out from the LibGDL, taking out its opponent's carronade. Ram comes out, gonna actually destroy their own balloon. Memory not looking great right now. However, the little crocodile coming in. Memory backs up and away from this fight, letting its Pura do the fighting for him.
Fancy has closed in now. Memory needs to
Wow.
get himself together and engage that Mobula. Duskline Crocodile armor is on its last legs, burning out slowly. He's getting double teamed. Memory needs to pop balloons now and get ships out of arc. He needs to get the Fancy. Oh, Fancy takes a bump off the bottom of the LibGDL, possibly knocking those Artemises out of arc and putting him in good range of the Memory. If he could just heavy clip the Fancy.
Crunch.
Not in time. The LibGDL does knock him out.
Memory looking for a shot.
Changing targets, doing a little bit of juggling right now. Fancy is about to lose balloon. All
They're
right.
gonna go for the ram.
No.
They might. No, they're gonna back up. Flamethrower from the Fancy, however, doing quite a bit of work.
Yeah, Memory loses hull, loses balloon as well from that carronade. They do have shoot that the LibGDL does not, so they are going to fall slower. But Fancy has turned this engagement around. LibGDL is coming to help out. Duskline Crocodile spawns in, but it's going to take him a second to get momentum and get crew positions while a heavy ram comes in.
Wow! That was crazy to watch. I was looking at one of the gunners on the Fancy, and I just see the LibGDL come flying in from overhead.
Oh, cool.
That was terrifying.
Cool.
That was super cool.
Duskline Crocodile comes in on the Fancy, but too late to save his ally, and now he is in a very unfortunate 2v1 scenario. Will he be able to drop hull on the Fancy fast enough to finish it off? I don't know.
Procaster predictions. I have no clue.
Does! And he catches him with the bottom of the nose cone and does heavy, damage.
I think the Fancy did that to himself.
Yeah, Fancy got a little over aggressive with those rams that were working out for him so well earlier, and he just managed to tap as soon as the hull went. And now the Memory is here to help out the little crocodile. LibGDL in a reversal of fate caught in the 2v1, and I don't think he'll be able to finish the crocodile off before he goes down here to Blender Piri power.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that difficult. Carronade, nice easy arcs on the balloon.
And LibGDL just goes into the mountain. And
Crunch!
pinned.
Memory
1,
bumps.
2.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. You're out of here.
God, I'm loving these new camera angles. I'm really getting the hang of them now, I feel. I'm using them a little bit less liberally.
Okay.
But for these rams and these gun arcs, I'm getting them. It's fun.
And I am here to just keep an overwatching eye on everything to make sure that nothing goes unmentioned.
Perfect.
Fancy and LibGDL spawn off over here at where one of the points is in Anglian. And the Duskline Crocodile and the Memory seem to know exactly where they were, or where they're going to be, as they are closing in quickly. And this cloud giving them a lot of cover. Have they seen them? Yes, they have. Spots on the Lib. Spots on the Fancy. No, get the Fancy! No! Memory!
Here we go, Memory turning. Fancy gonna have nice, easy shots at the Hades. We haven't seen a lot of the Hades this match, but we're seeing it now.
Now Duskline Crocodile goes between the two goldfish and closes in on the Fancy quickly. LibGDL gets his balloon taken out first. Memory manages to hold on to everything but his engines. And now Crocodile is getting good gat out on the Fancy. Hull is out. Explosives. A little lacking, but one lands. So it wasn't a complete waste. Also got a couple of the engineers off the guns on the Fancy, but excellent piloting has gotten him out of arcs.
Again, we have this crazy split engagement, both Blenderfish duking it out, both losing their balloons over and over. It's kind of like watching wrestling. Both of them are just trying to get on top of one another, and this time LibGDL getting a great ram on the memory, but they bump Geometry on the way down.
Ouch, Memory almost had
They're
an
okay.
opportunity to turn that around, but they did nick the terrain just wrong and spun their weapons out of arc. LibGDL is in an excellent position for a Goomba Stomp pin combo, and that will seal the Memory's fate.
This might be match. LibGDL looking for the Goomba Stomp into the water, and
Oh,
that's going to be it. Crunch.
Snap. Boom bang.
Riders move on to the finals.
And in a plot twist that surprises nobody. Riders, of course, one of the stronger teams that we have here, proving their mettle week in and week out in multiple tournaments. Wings of Daedalus, however, put up quite the tussle. Definitely did not just hand them a victory.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the split from Wings of Daedalus was not good. I agree they should have had the Blenderfish on the Fancy again and again. Huge misplay, I think. And we saw. I think they specifically went for each other. Like they decided, we at that last engagement they had the decision to put one ship on the other because the riders were a little bit more split, and they said, "All right, let's put the Pyrrha on the Mobula,"
and that was I don't think that was the right decision.
Like that was their conscious decision.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was so easy. There was a moment where that Blenderfish could have turned right, or turned left rather, and the Piri could have adjusted course just a little bit to intercept that goldfish instead, and that would have, changed the engagement, and I believe put it in their favor, and they probably could have pulled it off.